Deep inside the realm of death, the soldiers of Sigmar, God King of the celestial realm of Azir, prosecute war against those who oppose the will of their masters. The denizens of this corner Shaish, the repugnant wretched, and the servants of the dark gods of chaos, the undivided, have sought to foil the warriors of Sigmar at every turn. But Sigmar's mightiest, the Storm-cast Eternals, prepare to launch the next volley of attacks. This mission is for the life of one of Sigmar's mightiest servants, Lord Celestant Han Shinzong of the Hammers of Sigmar Stormhost. He was lost after the campaign for Amyasa in the Realm of Life, last spotted near the old city of Bolyani in Shaish. The valiant sellswords of the expedition have searched the area of Lake Baikal for this legend to no avail. All rumors of Shinzong's presence eluded them, until stories of a rider tarnished in gold, attacking and harrying the forces of the Soul Munchers, appeared. Believing this to be their long-sought lord, the Storm-cast Eternals marshaled the soldiers of the expedition from Old Bolyani to try and capture this warrior who strides the frozen surface of Lake Baikal. It is into this that Lord Celestant Hilmar Thunderstruck of the Hammers of Sigmar rides. Accompanied by the Sacrosanct Chambers, in addition to his own cadre of extremis units, he aids the expedition in crossing the region of the Thawing before he takes his men to confront the rider in tarnished gold. Even now, he sits in his command tent, dark thoughts playing out all manner of scenarios of the coming confrontation. A Gryphound lays its head across his lap, and he scratches behind his neck with a gauntleted hand. Men of action enjoy solitude when it comes, but solitude is made sweeter with the companionship of animals. Cheered from his sullen thoughts, he pours himself a glass of the gin brought by the Free Guild companies and sips pensively, eyes watching the flickering of an oil lamp on the table before him. The flap of hide leather catches his ear, and he turns to see the Liberator on guard at the entrance duck his head in. "Lord Celestant, there's a man here who wishes to speak with you." "What sort of man?" "A wizard, sir. One of the mages from the Hollowheart forces. Shall I allow him in?" At this, a voice like the crumbling of old ruins spoke up. "If I stand one more instant in this biting cold, I'm going to die straight to Nagash and demand he single you out, Liberator." "It's the Amethyst Wizard. Let him in." In walked Valash Kal, tall for a man, yet still much shorter in comparison to Hilmar. His height was coupled with a thin, nearly skeletal frame that he kept cloistered in robes of deep purple and blue. His black beard sat starkly on skin that had lost all colour. Hilmar now wished he had left his helmet on, if only to keep the unease he felt by meeting this man from showing. The thought irritated him. "Now, let me sit down. That's better. Now, Scion of Sigmar, you are faced with a terrible choice." Hilmar grimaced and returned to his chair. The Gryphound in his tent now decided to leap upon his cot and bed beneath its blankets. A pause chilled, before the wizard spoke again. "It has been told to me that Han Shinzong has been sighted roaming the lake and harrying the Oryx and the Deepkin. This now explains the preparations being made, and so, in my wisdom, I come to test you." While saying this, Karl poured a glass from the gin bottle for himself and drank. Hilmar kept his expression neutral, but his grip tightened upon the arms of his chair. What could this mortal tell him he did not already know? And what did he mean by this? Test. "Please, mage, I have not enjoyed our previous conversations and requested that any further dealings be brokered between your accomplice, the Gold Mage." Karl took another drink and smirked. "Have you killed an Eternal?" Hilmar's eyes narrowed. "No, and I do not intend to do so." "Then you are a fool. The most natural assumption is that Shinzong has been captured by some arcane force so that he cannot be reasoned with. The easiest way to break this would be to send him back to your anvil of apotheosis for reforging, but I know just how terrifying a prospect that has become.
Hilmar ground his teeth.
I know your experience, Thunderstruck. I know you much rather spare your friend the agony of being broken again and reforged, practically a new being.
Get to the point, wretch.
I offer you the chance to cure him without such a painful and soul-shattering experience.
What can you offer me that the sacrosanct chamber cannot do? At this, Kahl withdrew from his robes a medallion, holding it so that the candlelight danced darkly across its surface. Hilmar's eyes widened at the dire beauty of it, silver with runes of ruby etched into it, forming the terrible sigil of Cain. Why produce this blasted trinket before me? The wizard chuckled hideously.
Hilmar, Thunderstruck, it has the power to stop a death. The warrior who wears this will be blessed to not die when sundered with blade, but instead granted another opportunity to slay again. But this may only be used once before the Dwemer is broken.
He thrust it before the Lord Celestin.
Take it, Scion of Sigmar. Plant it upon the neck of your friend and slay him. For in the slaying surely the curse will be lifted, and he will not be borne away by the lightning. He will rise again restored to wholeness of form.
Hilmar ground his teeth.
How dare this wretch tempt him with the power of other gods?
Surely Sigmar's strength would be sufficient. The God King commanded the best armies, the best wizards. They would find a way. Or would they?
Yes, Stormcast. I see by the glancing of your eyes that my words have sowed doubt as to the abilities of your soldiers to complete their job. Know ye this, that I do not give this freely as a gift, but I expect a promise in return.
What would you have of me, should I accept?
A promise to fulfill a small request I shall name at a certain time. What say you?
Hilmar's eyes burned. He rose from his chair, striking full height, his face chiseled into an expression of rage. Get out!
Your temper, my lord.
Out, I say! You do not tempt me with your cheap tricks!
Kahl drained his glass and stood, throwing to his full height. Very well, Thunderstruck, but the offer stands. I shall know if you use the talisman, but when you use it, do not expect me to forget about our promise.
With these words, the wizard placed the amulet upon the table, turned, and walked outside. Hilmar's eyes lighted upon the charm and stared, his rage beginning to subside. But his thoughts were struck on his friend Shinzong. What would he do?